Tuesday. Oh, take my shoes off. A little bit warm up here already. It's a little stuffy. It's because I have to keep the windows closed so that the noise from the outside isn't so loud. We have really good insulated windows, so it's very quiet when they're closed, but when they're open. And right now there's some farming stuff going on and some construction nearby, and so there's a lot of big trucks going through, so it's a little bit stuffy in here. So we are back on Turnip's plot. We're going to go down into what I'm calling the costume room, props room, something or other. And that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to see about finishing the alternate Snow White dress with the opposite, I don't know, fluted style, and then maybe see about trying to make another dress of some sort. Hey Bones, good morning. Glad you could join us. Oh, that reminds me, I need to tweet. I don't think I tweeted already. I was catching up on all my feeds exploded with people chit-chatting about a fellow player that's a little bit of a hard time. So I was trying to read up on all that, and I think I just forgot to be ready. So it is out now. So yeah, what we did is we just turned the bananas opposite. Instead of having them bow out, we had them bow inward and made this a little bit more tighter, I guess, skirt type of thing. So rather than just copy this part over, I'm going to go ahead and just rebuild it anew and see what we get from that. You can kind of just see how I baked it all in. I didn't really... sounds like the trash truck. Didn't do anything special per se. Trying to see if I can make that a little bit bigger. I'm trying to keep it contoured a little bit more to the bottle. This one's a bit bulkier. I guess for the Granock style ladies that a little bit more robust in the chest area, I guess. Excuse me. I'm having a hard time hiding that. The one blue that I don't want showing. I want the other blue to kind of meet up with the edge of the bananas there. If I pull the banana out a little bit. Just a smidge. Not wanting to cover up, is it? A little better. Problem with tilting it too much is then the top part comes a little too far out and you want that to be a little bit narrow. Probably should just do it like this, like gonna be more pieces, but I think it'll have a better, hopefully, a better look. So did you ever come up with anything for yours, Bones? That one's still going. A little teensy weensy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove this bottom bottle so I can better see what's showing and what isn't. First, I'm going to make sure I have a copy of that dress thing. Whose plot are we on? Turnips? Yep, dress dummy. Okay, so we have that already. Oh, do you have a bunch of kittens? My boys would love to, when I say my boys, I mean my husband and my son. They would love to have a cat, but I don't know. With all the allergies that we have and stuff, I kind of have been against having pets in the house. Seemed not a good idea. That one, this look be. I have to use the second one. Work. Let's. Like I see little bits of blue poking through. Two of them. What kind of cats do you have? My husband, he daydreams that he'll get a, oh, what do you call them? A Maine Coon. He wants like a giant size. I was like, if I can't stomach the idea of a small one, we sure as heck are gonna get a really big one either. He says, yeah, to make a good guard cat. And I was like, cats don't guard. They just do their own thing. They could care less what we do as long as they get food. Trying to cover up that other bottle. Oh, yeah, they're adorbs when they're kittens. It's when they get all big and stuff that turns it off for me. I don't know. They say I'm anti-animal, and it's not that I have anything against the animals. It's just I have things against what the animals do. I mean, truth be told, if we got a pet, I would be the one stuck with it most of the time because I'm here at home. They go to school, they work, that kind of stuff. So I would be the one that would have to tend to all of its leavings and stuff and taking it out and if it got sick and I just don't want that. Oh, well, the mini might not be so bad. I'm just slowly patching this thing together. Very, very slowly. You know, the back come out really straight, and the front is just crooked and weird. Come in a little bit, I think. A lot of blue there. Which one is that? I guess that one. Like just a little bit. So many blue pieces. One more. I feel like I'm playing with Legos here. Okay, and then go ahead and what I really need to do is link these to the ball, I think. And we'll make a sleeve. Bring it. here. Kind of cheat on the thought I hit the ball, but no. Okay, so now I can finish off the top part of the dress. Maybe. I want to give her like a little bit of a neckline there. I don't really see it. Something like that. And then back. Are they already, like, I guess they're not potty trained or whatever yet? Litter box trained. I think that's the toughest part. My parents had lots of animals, or when we were younger, growing up, and I don't think any of them were truly trained very well. The only one I can think of is one dog we had that she was pretty good and trained, but let me showing which one is that. Ours always left messes and stuff. I guess maybe they just didn't know how to train them properly. Oh, well, that's pretty nice. None of the places that we ever went to would have done that. I think about the only thing that they would ensure is that they were, what do you call it, spaded or whatever. That was mandatory that they be sorted. Okay, so she's got a bit of a bottom hooky bit, but you can see it's a little bit more refined. The hips are a little pronounced, but so the only thing we're missing is the plate color. Easy enough to add in. Excuse me. Link those two up together. And there you go. That's the other version. So it really depends on the kind of skirt you're wanting to make. Tattooed. They tattoo them now? I knew about the chip stuff and of course the neutering and like deworming them and all that, but I never heard of the tattooing. Did it cost a lot? That's something else. Usually they're so expensive. Okay, so that's another version of the Snow White dress. A little bit different. She looks a little taller as well. Just mostly probably because of the way the skirt is shaped. As you saw, I just moved these straight over, so it's actually the same height. It just looks taller, doesn't it? It's weird. Maybe the bodice part is a little shorter. Anyway, I tried looking up other, oh, that's not too much. Ear tattoos. Is that just another identifier kind of mark? In case the chip gets chewed out or something. Anyway, I tried looking for other types of costumes that we might could attempt. And of course, a lot of them go back to like the Disney versions because, you know, a lot of the fairy tale stories and stuff from the past, they weren't necessarily illustrated, or if they were, it was very generalized. So I did see that there is a, I guess it's the Cinderella dress. It's predominantly blue, and gonna try and see if we can come up with something that will work for that. If it doesn't work, well, we can't say that we didn't try. So we're going to make a new dummy. Just for reference purpose, for height and everything. Later I'll rearrange these up into these little display areas. Because eventually I'm going to set up like, I don't know, some kind of an, not a chop, like a sweatshop or anything, but like a seamstress area where they have like a place where they would have their patterns, drawing them out, and then storages for all the different fabrics and things, and doodads that they might use, like buttons and whatnot, and of course sewing machines and stuff. So that'll be for another day. So blue. We don't have too many bluish things that look like cloth type of stuff. Just type in blue. Now I'm talking strictly from either whatever I've picked up or coming straight from the housing vendor. There's blue books, glass. This is probably what I'm going to try and use. I'm going to go ahead and dump one of those out. Got some rugs with a little bit of blue in it, some chairs and things. There's this one here, although it's a little animated. We have fabrics, but they're always attached to something else. And of course, you saw how fun this was using that as part of a fabric, so that wasn't all that great. Now, I'm only looking up by the word blue. There's other things that would probably have blue in it that, you know, there's the folded shirt. That's a pretty nice blue. Trying to think what else. So there's probably other things that would fit that aren't necessarily named blue in the name somewhere, but that's the one I could think of. So right off the bat, I'm going to see if this will work as a topper. I don't think it's going to work that way. Let me try it this way, I guess. The thing is, I don't want this weird spiky coming out. I want it to be a little bit more, yeah, like this. Like this is the bodice part. Now I know it's not going to look perfect because, well, one, it's a strange little formation thing, but also there's no way I'm going to be able to get it to perfectly contour unless I add multiples of the part that's trying to cover up the bottle. And then oh, that didn't work. We'll see how big we can make this without having it poke. See what I'm doing? I'm just extending it by pulling it out. It's probably going to only look good from one angle, depending on how I put this together, but I'm going to go with an idea and then we'll see how it works. So we want hers to be a nice full type of gown. Mostly I'm trying to avoid having too many of that spiky bits out the back. And having designs like this repeat kind of help give it that fabric look. What was that? 197.39. And that's for just making sure they're all the same. And then we'll do the turning it at an angle. Again, keeping those patterns to try and repeat them. that was 39. And 64. A really big gown type of look. I'm going to try this a little bit bigger. We're going to bring it down. Not that big. I'm going to do that again. Just trying to make that top, and notice it's a little bit darker in color. That helps it stand out against the rest of it. And then what I'm going to do is, let's see, probably just link all of these up together. So there's 9 pieces there that I want. So we're going to take this first one and link all the rest up to that one. Notice 2 gold per, so it's not a cheap dress. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to get away with just replicating this whole bit and just repeating it all the way around. Now, because it's not really centered on anything, you know, if you want to get it exact, you would probably link it to this so that you could just rotate the bottle. But I'm not going to do that. You always do it the hard way. But that's probably the smart way, is to link it to the bottle and just rotate the bottle around. I'll just do that. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. See, where are we at? Turnip. Let's see. Cinder gown. New and linked. One link. I'm just looking at patterns to see how it looks around. Probably could have just gotten away with, it looks like some of these are doubled up. I'm not worried about it though. It's just a little. Probably just one line could have been replicated. Something like that. So there's the bottom of her gown. So now we need like some sleeves or some accents of some sort. Now, the ones I'm looking at, some of them have, it's blue on blue, some it's white on blue, um, some the main dress part is the dark blue with the light blue accents, and some have it the opposite. So I would say just pick, something that looks okay to you and just go with that. So I'm gonna do white on blue because, like I said, we don't have too many bluish things, and there's already so much of this really intricate looking pattern. I want something a little bit plainer to go with it, so I'm thinking Snow Clump would probably work as the white accent. And I'm hoping this doesn't look too ridiculous because if you look at the classic one, not the one with the latest movie that they did, it's real frilly up at the top. The classic one, it looks like little, I don't know, weird little pillow things on her shoulders. And that's the idea that I'm going with here. I just don't know if it's going to look right, totally ridiculous looking, or what. Because part of it is I'm going to have to be dealing with all these little spiky bits popping out. But I also want the shoulder pieces to be in proportion to the rest of her dress, so and of course the snow clump is kind of misshapen anyway, so that won't help. Just trying to get rid of some of that blue. Trying to get it to look the same from the front. It's really tough. Because again, the crystals have a certain form. And that's what you have to kind of go by. Right. Something like that. Okay, so that's the shoulder parts. And then she also has some, well, some of them have like the little poofy things on the side where the hips are. Here. And then a little bit in the front as if this splits out right here so that you can see a little bit of the, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that with these snow clumps, but I'm going to try and make something. So see how this goes. First I'm going to bring the snow clump out, get the shape right here, the plant. Gotta get the size right. Again, it's going to be really tough doing this on the spikes because the spikes just are going to be poking out where they probably shouldn't be. I'll give it 3 of those, I guess. No idea. I might mess that one up. Try that again. See, I'm trying to cover up that spike there. Just take a little one, I guess. Trying to keep the general shape, just cutting off that little bit of, I don't know if that works or not. Thanks, Bones. Let's see. This one, it starts off super small. Get the right bit that I want. Don't know if that's big enough of a gap between each layer or not. Don't think it is. This one, on that, that looks a little better. Still got that funny blue bit there, but we'll go with it. I'm using that line that shows up with these layered clumps as trying to make it look like folds of the dress part. Probably the folds would actually be horizontal, but it just doesn't work that way for the particular item that I'm using, so. Oops. Wrong direction. I don't know if that looks right or not. I think it's too far out. a little better, sort of. Now let's see. To the other side. Got a lot more spikies going on, so that might be tougher. Totally not the same look from side to side. Let me just try this again. I actually think I just like it without the snow clumps at the bottom. I think it looks better with just the skirt than having it all layered up like that. Personally, I think it's better without. Because these just don't make sense. I can see what I'm trying to do, but it's not looking like I'm wanting it. So I think I'm just going to remove those and leave it like that. Maybe someone else can give it a try and do a better job. Okay, so the other one I thought we might could do is again, I think it's Disney. It could be something else. I'm really not sure. I think the name of her was Tiana, I want to say. It's her little, it looks like a, yeah, the ruffles, they could maybe work. I have them out for this particular one that we're getting ready to start. But who knows? I think the movement would pose a bigger problem here with all of the spikes. I think it's just better to leave them as a just as a solid skirt rather than trying to layer something in. I think that just there's too many spiklies. But I like the pattern of it, at least from the front. From the back, it's a little crooked, but you know, just ignore. And of course, once we move the bottom part, it should look a little different as well. What I do is I cheat and put in the bottle as if it's sitting there. Okay, so this one It's more like it's like a flower dress. I mean, it looks like a tulip thingy or a lily. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it looks like it's layers of leaves for her skirt. Um, uh, and it's like light yellow. Um, some of them have it white for the bottom, and then it's overlapped with some green, and then it's light green and stuff, the same kind of green for the top part. So what we're going to try and do is the skirt bottom first, and we're going to use the ruffle drapes here. Again, these do move a little bit, so keep that in mind. As long as you're not too concerned about that, then it should be fine. We're going to pretend that they're not moving. And decide on size. You know, if we're going to have this layered kind of thing, then you want to make sure it's. You also want to keep in mind about the wooden part sticking out. So where you want to put that. Now I did do this something similar for like the skirt for the ballerina, which actually came from putting together a party tent for the Easter egg plot. So I could have just gotten that and used it, but I'm gonna go ahead and rebuild it here. Something along these lines. You can see how I fiddled with it. And notice I just picked a random angle. You know, it's not even something specific. 61.99 is like, meh. Just pick one that feels good about, you know, the size that you want it, and then go from there. So that. See, again, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Again, keep in mind that top where all the wood pieces are, that's going to probably pose a problem later. Definitely that one's not looking very friendly. Mostly I'm just trying to fill in the dirt part. Again, if you were to just link it to a centerpiece and do it that way, it'd probably be much easier. But I like to freehand most of my stuff like this, so Feel free to use my ideas, but don't necessarily follow my poor building habits. They'll just get you into trouble. And remember, a lot of this is probably going to be covered up with what we do later. I'm just kind of building a base. You know, once you just, you know, if you're experimenting like this and you decide maybe like when we were building this and I noticed that there was a lot of overlap, you can always just go back and select the things that you actually see, um, and see just how few pieces you can get away with. You might save yourself some stuff by getting rid of it. It's kind of like the skirt. I had the full skirt for the ballerina. When I put it into the painting, I actually only used about half of it, so half of it I was able to remove. Um, that's probably not the most efficient way to build because obviously I'm spending money on building this up so full, and later I might decide, well, I really don't need like half of that, and that's money down the tube that I won't be getting back. But this really depends on what works for you as far as you think you can afford. Okay, so that's like the bottom underneath layer bit. If I really wanted to get goofy, I would probably add a second layer of these, but I think it'll look a little weird, so we're just going to leave it like that, I think. The other thing is yeah, these long leaf pad singles. Since her dress is kind of like green leaves on the top part of her skirt, I was hoping that these might work. I had already planned on learning most of this new waterfall decor pack with this particular character anyway. I have a faux waterfall outside that I'm planning on rebuilding at some point. So I thought, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and try the leaves as part of the dress. Problem is, again, these little wood pieces, I have a feeling they're going to be my bane. Whereas making skirt the right way, what we may do is end up resizing the bottom of the skirt a little bit. Like there's one big leaf on this side, and then like a 3-layer leaf on the other side. So it's like again, these, like the drapes, have a bit of movement to them, so do keep that in mind if you plan to use them in some form or fashion like this. It's really hard to contour it to the skirt, the dress, but still keep the leaf visible. Maybe should have started with the bottom one. Little too. Try and ignore all that funkiness coming out the top there. And then they use one of the lily flowers with a long streamer bit going down, kind of like from the middle, I guess, side of the hip maybe. Maybe I don't even need that one. I don't know if I actually put one in that had the flowers. Don't think so. I'll have to grab that one later. There's one that has a, actually, let me see. I have used it outside. Just grab it from there. I don't know if it's going to work because I think it comes with grass and stuff too, which might pose a bit of a problem, but that one? Now there's actually the lily leaf one. It's a little harder to get a hold of. But that one might work better because I don't think it has the grass attached to it. But we'll see. Flowering. Yeah, I think it'll probably be better to use one of the other ones, or I would go with maybe a Glarus white leaf flower. That would probably work okay. The snow bloom, any kind of a white or slightly pinkish flower would probably work. I'd say maybe like the weeping cup flowers, if you could zero in on the one, but I think the others would pop out a little bit and they move pretty abundantly, so I don't know if that would work. This is really the wrong color, but that might could be used as well. Put that down. Another one I was thinking of. Yeah, this one here would probably work really nice. Maybe look a little weird because of the twiggy things sticking out. And depending on how big it comes, you may have problems hiding the stem. But that might could work. I thought there was a, maybe it's a vase. Yeah, again, these have white flowers, but you might have trouble hiding the pink ones. The only ones I can think of. So either you leave it like this and then kind of work in the rest that comes, and that hopefully will help cover up the grass, which is sticking out really far. Or find you the lily pad, which, like I said, it's kind of a rare item. I think it's a random, oops, tool thing. Um, got less grass, I guess. Still got some grass, but not as much. Um, I think it's just a world drop, random world drop, so it's kind of expensive off of the AH if you can find it there. But we could probably just go with this. Not going to be the exact color that I wanted, but it could still work as an alternative. Cover dunk. Okay, let's see if we can just grab one of these here. And link all the curtains up together and see if I can, whoops, that's the wrong way, point. There we go. Made it really big, didn't I? Just gonna see if I can hide it a little bit. A little better. Just don't look at the butt. The back is a little awful looking. A little on the low side, isn't it? But that's okay. I don't know if I have enough leaves left to make up the bodice. And remember, they've got these little root thingies as well that may pose an issue. But we're going to try. And then get some more of the white coming up at the top, so I guess I'll use a bit of the curtain. That's working like I need it to. Something like that. It's not exact. I think this is a little too low. What's bugging me? I may actually need to double up the skirt part. Dang it. One, two, right there. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Wanting to move this up. And hers just kind of ends kind of like a strapless kind of thing, so that is also probably bugging me. Probably should have the white drapes all the way around. I don't know. It's I think her name's Tiana or something. Let me. It's the Frog Princess. It's Princess and the Frog. Like I said, I can't remember if it's Disney or something else. It's like Tiana or Tiara or something. I think it's Tiana. Where they're in like, what is it, Louisiana or something? And like New Orleans. And I don't know, it's like a updated twist on it with voodoo and voodoo and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, her dress looks like it's like supposed to be like a flower. So yeah, not exactly the best attempt, but a effort. Anywho, I think that's all we're going to have time for today. So a couple more dresses. We'll display them properly elsewhere. Tomorrow, of course, is house tours day. I have yet to actually go through the list to see if any of them have been updated. And I'll try to get around to that this afternoon, evening, so that we have it all online tomorrow. But then Thursday we'll be back, probably working on something else. I'm trying not to go crazy on it like I did last month with the Pokemon, because I seem to have had the concern that maybe folks were not participating because I was already doing so many of them, they didn't feel like it was necessary. So I'm trying my best to kind of stay on just limiting either to costumes or to just Snow White. So we'll probably be back on the outdoor theater on Thursday and Friday. That way I don't intrude on too many more stories, because I figure most probably won't try to do outfits. They will, if they're going to do like Snow White or Cinderella or um, whatever other fairy tale, they're going to build a little structure. Costumes normally don't come to mind, I don't think. So hopefully I'm not intruding on anyone's possible idea. And yeah, the bad guy in that one. He was the voodoo guy with the looked like a pimp. That's what he looked like. He was like very colorful and had that top hat and sleazy look and stuff. So anyway, um, so yeah, uh, if you don't join for anything else, be sure and join us tomorrow for the house tours bit. Again, I just kind of lost my thought. Anyway, good luck with your builds. I hope you have fun today. It looks like it's going to be a nice and sunny day. I'm going to open up my windows again, so get some air going. Be a good time to work out in the yard, if nothing else. And if I don't see you again for a while, I hope you have a great day, great week, great weekend, whatever. Of course, our best wishes to Poi and her extra stuff that she's doing this week. And hopefully we get to see her soon. Probably may take longer than she expects, I think, but soon, we hope. Good luck with the meeting, Bones. We're going to go ahead and sign off. But thank you for joining, and of course, appreciate all the support, the follows, the tweets, the retweets, the votes. It's very much appreciated. Also, for those of you that are interested in either sharing the information or making your own personal donation of any sort, we do have a fellow community member that is a little bit on hard times at the moment. You can just check it out on my Twitter feed. I've retweeted his story. Or you can just kind of follow along with like the WildStar hashtag. You'll probably see a lot of tweets and retweets about it. But it's in regards to Desmus. If you want to help out with that, please feel free to reach out to him on his GoFund page and everything. It's one of those things that, if you put yourself in their shoes, you would hope that people would come out and reach out and stuff for you, and it would be nice if folks pass along the information and get the help that he needs. Anyway, I assume there's going to be maintenance tomorrow. Probably won't know more about that until tomorrow morning when I get up. I think they usually post info when I'm sleeping, so go ahead, start on that, check it out late. But yeah, I think that's it. Thanks again for joining. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.